Gina is a good friend of ours at Pinhole Press. We're excited to talk with her today about success tips for memorable portraits at home for your holiday greeting card or otherwise taken by your smartphone. With that, I will turn it over to Gina to share a little bit more about herself.
Hello. I am excited to be here today to help parents to navigate this crazy time that we're in and still come out with successful pictures for their holiday cards or whatever. It's a tough thing. I speak as a photographer and a parent. I know both sides of this issue. Expecting too much, poor lighting conditions, bad time of day. I'm here to help you streamline these things and take these tips to come out with a picture that you're going to be proud to send out in your holiday cards. And a lot of these points can sort of run together, but I've tried to break them down into 10. So take notes, and then you can go about your house and you can find this spot and have all your notes right there, and you'll know exactly what to do. It makes the process 100% easier. So in the planning stages, you're going to want to coordinate your outfits instead of matching. When you match, it takes away from your faces. Everybody looks at the same shirt and the same pants. Just coordinate. You also want to think about your background. That is a very big thing. You can get a great picture, but you could be in front of a mess, and it takes away from the beauty of that moment. So if you're going to go for holiday cards, that's definitely something you're going to want to pay attention to. So it really pays to just take the time, clean up any clutter, dishes, toys, just make it a nice, calm background, or a very nicely decorated background. If you celebrate Christmas or something, you want to make it as nice as you can, and you put a little bit of distance between your subject and the background so that you get a little bit of that blurred out background, and your subject will pop more. The other extremely important thing is your lighting. So all of these things sort of work hand in hand. So one's not really more important than the other here. You want to use natural, indirect light. What that means is you don't want to be in the blazing bright sun. It'll wash you out, and it's just really going to look too harsh. That's when people are squinting and you get hard shadows. You want it to be softer. So when the sunlight is not coming right in your window, and it's a little higher in the sky or a little lower, you're just going to have an illuminated space. You want to be in that space. You can have the window in it if you want. That's a nice look. Or you can just be offset enough and turned just a little bit so that you're all getting lit nicely, but it's not harsh light, harsh shadows. This is also how your camera is going to function the best. Photography is light. If you don't have light, you don't have a good picture. That's how the camera sees. So you want to make sure it's a nice lit space. If you're doing this outside, it helps to note that, like I had said, you don't want people staring into the sun. A lot of people think that you have to be in the brightest spot to get the best look, and that's not true. Often it's the shade that works the best. If it's high noon, which a lot of times I'm having to do pictures earlier in the day because I do a lot of families, and that's just the best time of day, which we'll get to. But it's not the best light time, so you have to work around that. And I pick shaded spots, and it works out great. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that the sun is just behind or off to the side of the frame. So like back here works well. You don't want it right behind your subject because that's when you get that hazy, kind of faded look to your pictures. You sort of want it around here somewhere or to the side of your subjects. Just they're not staring into the light. If you're inside, you're going to want to turn off that TV. Remove the distractions. A lot of times parents have put on TVs when I've gone to do in-home sessions, but the TV is just where they're going to look. they won't look at the camera. So you're not going to get that look. You're going to get the look of a child that's distracted. And it's a little disappointing when everybody else is just like right at the right moment, the right smile, and then Blippy, or whomever is just stealing the attention of the toddler. So you just want to turn that off and remove that distraction. This is point 4. I forgot to say that. Point 5 goes with that. Don't be afraid to reward your kids for good behavior. So it's not a bad thing. You're not treating them like a puppy. If they're doing a good job, promise them that M&M or whatever treat is their favorite, and you'll get good results. Just don't go too long. Give them a little bit of a reward, and then they can do another good job and get more. So point 6 is going to go along with those as well. And it's to make sure everyone is fed and rested before you take your photos. I know this is a lot to try to coordinate. That's the life of a photographer, though. You want to make sure that nobody is hangry, nobody is tired. If your kids are better before a nap, you know your kids. So these things are going to kind of be a little bit second nature to a parent, because you're going to know when a good time for your kids is. So keep that in mind. It's very important. And point 7 is just don't expect too much. Pinterest is a lie most of the time, as we all know. It never happens that way. It's very, very rare. A lot of times photographers even have to face swap because nobody's ever doing the right thing at the right time at the same time. So you might get everybody and then one is just a little so they swap faces sometimes. Or they just keep going and keep going and keep going until they do get that unicorn shot. But don't expect that. Just sort of, focus on that imperfect, chaotic, this is the time of our lives sort of photo. And if you get something even better than that, great. If not, you're all having fun. When mom is stressed, everybody feels it. When dad is stressed, everybody feels it. So just let all that go, breathe, and just have fun together. Tickle the kids, whatever. Just have fun with it. To that point 8, you're going to want to use your iPhone's timer if you're going to be in the photos, which I definitely recommend. Parents need to get in those pictures with the kids. Even if you just do a few that way, and then you do focus on, just taking pictures of your kids without the timer. There's different modes. I think they have burst mode now on the iPhone, so you can get a few shots at once without having to go back and reset. And once you're in that right spot, you can do these different things. You can do a burst mode. You could do just some pictures of the kids being cute. Say, I don't know if this is going ahead of myself here, but say a funny word that makes your kids laugh. That worked for me the other day. I had a toddler that was just not interested, and then we started saying goofy, funny words that he found funny, and he wound up giving us a nice smile. Mm. So things like that will help get the job done. You're going to want to zoom in, this is point 9, after a few photos, just to check for clear focus, to make sure you're getting the picture that you want, thinking about it bigger, before you dismiss everyone. Because if you let everyone go and give the rewards and all this stuff, and then you didn't get the shot, everybody's like really bummed coming back. So you want to try to avoid that. And then point 10 is just when you do find that winning photo, don't over edit. Don't go crazy with filters. You really want to try your very best to just get that nice photo, nice clear light. And if you do want a little more of a professional touch on it, a lot of photographers will edit your photos for a small fee. They can usually navigate very well on iPhone apps with editing, or they could take it onto their computer and do it with Photoshop or Lightroom. Maybe I don't use Lightroom. I wish I did, but it's possible to get that good picture without using a bunch of filters. Filters are to be used selectively, and you'll be really happy with the results. One other tip that you could do that goes with point 8 with your iPhone, you can also, with the iPhone, take a video at the highest resolution, a really short video, and then go through it and take a screenshot if you like a certain moment of that video. You can have everyone say cheese or look at the camera or say that funny word or just tickle or whatever you guys like. And maybe all have cocoa and do cheers or just something fun. And then you could take a screenshot of that moment, and that will also be helpful to just have in your collection when you're going through your photos.
Okay, so Gina, I've seen your photography and know how beautiful it is. If people watching this want to learn more about you and get a glimpse of your work, where should they go?
You can go to my website, ginasphotos.com, or you can find me on Instagram at ginasphotos320.